David, can you tell me, just took a tour of the inside of the former Brookside Youth Center. Can you tell me your thoughts? It's a lot of information to take in.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. This month marks a milestone month in the decommission process. The Ministry of Youth have now, will be this month vacating the premise. All the buildings are completely clear. For those wondering, sort of what's happened inside the Willy Wonka chocolate factory over the last while, all of the things you heard from the lady who is in charge of this. She's a public servant who's done remarkable work, and they made sure that the food in the immediate days went to local charities, that equipment, things used in the education through the Kawartha Pine Ridge District School Board, who ran the school that was inside here for the incarcerated youth. They went and took all of their material. So there was a laydown of everything inside here. That was all taken out. And so all that rests here today are buildings that are essentially shells. There's nothing inside. Things went to shelters, certain security equipment that is used in the justice system was moved elsewhere. Other material and equipment here has been relocated elsewhere in the youth justice system, and it's a milestone.
One thing, it's the first time I've ever been in there, but it's one thing that I got out of it is, although it's it was there for a reason.
Yes.
But it was, I don't want to say it was a nice facility, but really the grounds were very, very nice. But it's someplace, obviously, I don't think anybody'd want to be in. If you can.
No, I mean, if you look, there were 8 bunkhouses here, which housed 32 units. We had 6 youth here at time of decommissioning. So folks can do the math and see that this beautiful site on the inside, historic site with the administration building here, beautiful heritage building, the carriage house at the back. There's a lot here that's quite remarkable, and it's a beautiful grounds. Obviously, I think that that it behooves all of us in government when we have surplus properties like these to engage the public. We've done that. Some great feedback. The town as well have been phenomenal. Unfortunately, the last minute nature of this, we were unable to have town mayor and council join us, but we'll set up another opportunity to have them come and see the property as this now goes to the Infrastructure Ontario. And for folks wondering what that is, Infrastructure Ontario handles the real estate portfolio for the government of Ontario. So now that the ministry is out, they've reallocated all of the things that were in here elsewhere in the system, made local donations where they could. The school boards pulled everything out, and you heard from the OPS employee that ran this decommissioning process that this was one of the fastest ones done in the province's history. I know folks watching at home and wondering, they'll think this has been here forever, or this has been months since we made the announcement, but it's been less than a year. Ministry's out, Infrastructure Ontario and the real estate portfolio takes over the keys in January.
This will still, not that I'm familiar, but it will still be a while before anything's decided, I would presume.
Yeah, I mean, we have to do a complete asset management of everything here. Water, wastewater, you've got to do a complete inventory of all of the buildings on site. The state of the roof, you've seen many of the roofs were in a state of complete disrepair. So what needs to be wound down and completely dismantled? That's, again, where IO comes in, their expertise with all of the material here. And I think going forward, also pursuant to our obligations, duty to consult, we're in the process of that as well, pursuant to Williams Treaty obligations. And, it's an important dialogue that we have to have with First Nations communities as well as other ministries, and a complete inventory here of the buildings, as I said, and, engaging the town and the community. I think they want to have their say. I'm hoping that as we, the IO portfolio takes over, we can start having folks in the community come and see, for what for years has been blocked off.
David, can you tell me a bit, when staff left here, it was sort of, if I can say abruptly, but I mean, you said one thing in the beginning that staff wouldn't be forgotten.
Well, we kept our word, and I think, don't take my word for it. You heard yourself, Pete, from the manager here who oversaw the decommissioning, that all staff were looked after. No one was left behind. Many took a voluntary package. Many are working elsewhere in the youth justice system. Some are working elsewhere in the broader OPS, Ontario public service. So I think my obligation, as I said on day one in February, was that we will look after staff and who are working here, and the youth as well who've been moved elsewhere. And this was an orderly wind down. All staff were looked after, and now that we've looked after the site and taken away everything from within, it now hands over to the IO Portfolio Infrastructure Ontario.